All right. Well, how we doing? Who are we here with today?
Nuno. Who am I here with today?
Jacob Oestreicher.
All right. Good to hear. Good to know. Good to see. Right. We're honestly going to just be flowing on this podcast, a little bit of like a talk to your friend. I think the way we've always based our content is as if you were on FaceTime with your boy, right? You let anything fly. Obviously going to try to refrain from using a lot of swear words this time around.
Yeah, it's going to be a little tough. If you ever watched any of our content, you know how it goes.
Just know we're trying, right? That's the only thing that matters. All right, bro. I mean, let's kind of start from the beginning. Like, how'd I meet you? I feel like that's what everybody usually asks, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, big thing is I got alerted of this guy's account through my comment section being like, bro, I thought that, like, are you and @Nuno the same dude? I'm like, who the fuck is Nuno? Like, I don't know who this guy is. Take a look at his account. Pretty much we're making, like, the same type of videos. You're doing them in the car, and I was doing them in the desk because, I mean, we're just, like, very similar people to begin with as is, and it's just, like, pretty much the easiest way to make content. Literally, we just set the phone down, record, give people the value. That was the strat.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the coolest part about the whole like intro to each other was you and I were making content at the exact same time with not copying each other. It was like I discovered you and you discovered me like almost dead on accurately. And it was like, I think the thing that you realize about social media is it's difficult to make friends with an individual that you would have been friends with in real life.
Yeah.
Right? And I think the coolest thing about our friendship, not to get a little sus, has been like, he's always to me a guy who, if I'd met at school, met at the gym, met at a park, I would have been friends with. 100%. Social media aside, right?
100%.
Yeah. Low key, bro. I mean, when was the first time you reached out to me?
I mean, I reached out to you in what, May or earlier? Honestly, it might have been like February, right? I think January or February. And I was literally clueless on how to do coaching. Like, I had no idea. I was just like, all right, like, I need to do coaching. I just had like a Google form in my bio, and I was just like DMing people, and I would run through things through text. I'd send them like a Google sheet, and I'd be like, all right, like, this is your plan. I remember I was like in accounting class grinding out like client applications, like client things. And I was like, all right, yeah, I guess like, this is just what I'm going to do now. And I was like, this guy seems like he knows what he's doing a little more than me with the coaching stuff. Like, I saw you had like a link in your bio and stuff. I was like, all right, like, let me just hit him
one step further ahead.
I was like, all right, like, he knows a little more what he's doing right now.
Yeah, I mean, dude, and then, look, bro, it was probably around, I want to say, like Jacob was saying, March, May.
Yeah.
We kept getting these comments that was like, we thought y'all were the same person. We thought y'all were brothers. And they were funny to a certain extent, but I'm not even gonna lie. They were pissing us off, dude.
They were so annoying.
Every comment for months and months on end was, is this Jacob Oestreicher? Or is this Nuno, bro?
Or literally, like, it was unreal. And I would sometimes get comments like asking me about like abs and stuff. And I'm like, my abs suck. Like, I don't know why people are asking me about my abs. Like, but these are straight up not good. So I knew people were getting us confused. And I was just like, I texted him. I was like, yo, we should just like link up. We should do something. He's like, yo, come to like Cali, whenever. And I was like, yo, fuck it. Like, I've never done anything like that on social media before. Honestly, social media didn't get real until I came and like visited you. I would say I was just like kind of screwing around. And I was like, all right, like, let me just go and see what happens here. They'll book like a $500 flight to California and just stay with this random dude I've never even met
on my couch, bro. Yeah. So lit, you know. And again, kind of connecting back to what I said at the start. I remember walking downstairs, and I knew Jacob was a cool guy through his content, but you're timid when you meet somebody on social media. You don't know what persona they're putting on online. Yeah. You don't know how much of their videos is real, is not real, is fake. And I mean, I walked down the stairs of my house. This dude got out of his Uber, and I looked at bro. I was like, "This is gonna be a chiller, bro." I think we do right from the jump, bro.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, bro. And that was I want to say start of August 2025.
Yeah, start of August, like literally last year, August. And it was just like immediately we were chilling. And then one of the main things that I noticed is, like, I didn't realize until recently, but a lot of people, when they make content, they have to do like a bunch of takes and stuff. Me and Nuno, we would just set the phone down and we just start yapping immediately. Done. It was just no questions asked. It was immediately like sparse when we went to do things.
It's actually funny you say that, because I remember 2 to 3 weeks before you actually came to visit me. I was in the car with my boy, and we were going to the gym regularly. And that was the thing, is like, I never liked doing content around my friends, but I had not hit my video quota for the day. I was like, I got to post something. And I put my phone down, bro, and I just yapped about hitting back day. And I did it in one take. walked out of the car. My boy Lee said to me, he's like, dude, you actually do those in one take? And I was like, yeah, bro. Like, doesn't everybody? He's like, I don't think so, dude.
Yeah.
And so meeting you for the first time was genuinely the biggest content like click, as in not only does this guy talk about the same stuff I do, kind of do look the same, but we make content in a very, very similar manner, as in the output is one and done, right?
Yeah.
And dude, I mean, the thing about Jacob, a funny story, bro. We went to a private gym in California. Don't even get me started on that gym. And we walked up to the front desk, and I knew the owners. And I went to the guy working the front desk. I said, "Yeah, this is my boy. He posts on social media." Jacob wasn't getting started at the time, but like, I mean, you guys know his rise was absolutely meteoric. And I told this dude, I basically said, "Yo, this is my boy. He posts content. He's gonna blow up insanely soon. Like, you mind comping us a day pass, right?" And I said, "Bro, we'll record whatever you want for your gym." And this dude literally walks to the side to go find the owner. What does he say? He's like, "Yeah, dude, I don't think that's something that we could get done." And I remember in that moment, never being so pissed off in my life, because it was like a disrespect on my friend. It wasn't a disrespect towards me. And but I think I knew Loki right then and there. I was like, this dude's gonna put in so much work, and that owner is gonna look back at the 1.3 million followers that this guy has accumulated today, and he's gonna regret it every single time, bro.
Yeah, that was insane. And like, I never even expected anything out of this as is, but even that gave me a little bit of fire. It's like, because I know you had you'd been able to have a bunch of opportunities. Like, you had that other gym, because you were definitely like a bit ahead of me at that point. And you had like that other gym you were doing stuff with and free stuff. And I had like no sponsors, no anything. Like, I was barely like having an income from this. And I was like, damn, bro, I gotta step it up. Like, literally, when I came down to that trip, I didn't really know what I was doing in terms of coaching. I don't even think you know this. I had no idea what I was doing in terms of coaching. Like, I wasn't even getting on calls. Like, I'll be honest. Like, I didn't even know that was like things people did. I just kind of completely figured out how to coach people. I come down and I see this guy's like, all right, like, you know, like I'm getting on a call here. I'm getting on a call here. I'm like, damn, bro, I'm a terrible coach. It's like, I don't know what I'm doing right now. Like, this guy's got it figured out. I need to lock in. And I was like, all right, so I'm going back home. I'm setting up a weekly call. I'm setting up this. I'm setting up that. I'm setting up a website. I started literally the minute I came back. I was like, I need to lock in with the coaching. And then from there, it was just like so much better, because I came and like I actually saw how you worked. And I was like, damn, like I got to step it up. Like, I'm not doing enough.
Bro, and the thing is too, is like social media, and I mean followers, people decide like a lot of their ego is driven from the followers that they gain. Right. I think for you and I, the coolest thing about this entire process is there was always a level of mutual respect between us.
Yeah.
And there always has, there always will be. And it was like, you guys may not understand this, but I view this dude as a friend first, before any form of company that we're connected with, any form of business that we do together, any form of content creation, any form of niche or industry, right? And look, I mean, we're preaching to nobody right here, but if any of you guys ever do get on social media, the people that you first meet that not only show you the same level of respect, but you realize are similar to you, you don't ever let those people go, bro. Because, I mean, I'll say this, and I know you've had very similar experiences. When I first started out online, bro, I had one other friend, Nick DeMasi.
Yeah.
And when you pulled up, it kind of gave me, not a hope of social media, but a new way of viewing things from a perspective of like, I can actually meet people that I'd like in person.
It's honestly the craziest part about social media. Like, when you do like cool shit on social media, you can just build like an insane network of dudes who are very similar to you. Like, I like immediately, like, you know, I'm always looking for, you know, guys who are around my age that are like just as hungry to get after it. And now I've just like got an insane network of guys who are just like super ready to get after it. I mean, me and Nuno are, you know, we have like our app that we just launched. You know, we've got a bunch of stuff going on with that. And the amount of like connections that we've been able to get on both of our ends, like, you know, Ethan helped us out with, you know, the community aspect. And then I got Nerve on our end, like doing a bunch of other stuff for us, just running our back end stuff. And it's just like the network that we've been able to create just because I decided to be like, yo, how do you do coaching? And like, people look the same. It's insane. Like, we've been able to build an entire company from just that. It's nuts.
And to piggyback off that, right? Like, the coolest thing about Jacob, and it was something that I hadn't found in any of the friends that I had made, whether they were great friends or not, was we love fitness. I love taking care of my body. I love my health. But the passion that him and I both have for business, I promise you, is tenfold of what we put online in relation to fitness.
Yes,
right?
easily.
And dude, to me, it was the coolest thing to know that I could not only go into business with the guy who I had the utmost respect for, shared the same values as me, but like you just said at the start there, was just as hungry.
Yeah.
Right? That hunger aspect of things really, genuinely from time to time has been the thing that's kept me going. And obviously as I've tried to transition a little bit more to lifestyle and kind of get out of the bodybuilding scene, Jacob has probably been the guy that has convinced me every day to stay consistent. Seeing this guy's rise on social media and seeing how much work this guy puts in. And look, I know you guys see from his show day and everything that he works his ass off. He's gone through prep. This dude works harder than any guy I've ever met on social media. And I've told this to him with the camera not being here. I've said this in private multiple times, but the level of output that he's been able to create is not through any form of, oh, how did this happen? There's a reason it happened, bro. And there was times where I wouldn't say I got down or I was unmotivated. I've never viewed motivation as a thing that's going to keep me going, but I would look at your account and I'd be like, dude, if I don't keep posting it this straight, I'm cooked, bro. I'm cooked, bro. And I mean, bro, that would to me was also the coolest thing is there's never ever been a moment where from either or of us saying this where he's not motivated me to become a better version of myself.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to work harder seeing his output.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, damn you convinced me to get ready to go do a bodybuilding show. You know how much I do not want to be a bodybuilder, bro. And I mean, just seeing the work you put in over these course of these last 6 months, is insane. And look, guys, his content has done so well for so long on zero energy, 0 calories, and 0 food, bro.
Dead, man.
That alone is crazy,
Yeah. I mean, it's like the even, you say that, I appreciate that. It's just like, even talking to Nuno in person and stuff, like every time we get on the phone, it's just like immediate, like we're straight to business a lot of the time. Like we, but the way we go about it is still like in a friendly way.
manner.
Like we chirp each other pretty much the entire time we're talking about this, but then it's like immediately straight back to it. And that itself fires me up too. It's like being able to just have an outlet of like a friend and like a business partner at the same time where I can just yap forever about, new business opportunities, new this, new that, new this. And it's just like never gets old is something that I value so much because there are so many guys like in my life that aren't in the same kind of position for me to even be able to do that. Like if I talked about a lot of these opportunities, be like, or shut up. Like I don't go do something like, I don't care.
Or it's like in theory talk. Oh, that sounds cool. And then where's the level of action? Yeah,
there's no action. Nothing. And that's another thing like with you as well is like it's immediate, like it's action. I always say like speed solves a lot of issues, and the fact that you'll have these opportunities or you'll give me these ideas and then we actually put them to work. It's the same thing. It's like I've never met someone in my life where I can just bounce ideas off like crazy. Like me and this guy we'll sit down and we were like, bro, like we don't know what to make. Like we were gonna make, this is literally like 2 nights ago. We were like, what like videos do we make? We were both like hitting a stump. We're like, yo, what about this? I'm like, what about this? And we're like, oh, that's it. Money. Okay. We'll just sit there for like 2 seconds, talk, and then we'll be like, that's it. Make a video, and it just goes insane because we for some reason we just click when it comes to that.
And we actually spoke about this in the car. Bro drove me over here in his RA. I got to lock in. I got to get my Ferrari sometime soon. But we said that like from a complimentary perspective, like the aspects in which I can't cover with health and fitness, you can.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing where you can't cover, I can. And I think that's also been the coolest thing is we share a passion for very similar things, and we have that same exact fire and desire of wanting to achieve upon them, but we go about them in slightly different ways that work,
Yeah, 100%. It's like so many people now, they like try and force something that doesn't work, especially in social media. Like I'll see guys, they just keep trying and trying and trying together to like make stuff that works, but like for us, it's always been so easy, just immediately off the gun. Like
I don't want to sound stupid, bro, but it's like driving an automatic. There's nothing you have to worry about other than putting your foot on the gas.
Yeah,
it's the bottom line.
It's honestly insane. I even know like my girlfriend, she's seen me just set down the camera and just yap like 10 videos straight. And I've even talked, and she's like, how do you do that? Like, I could never do that in a million years. I go and I was talking to, a few of the other guys at the Echo, like meet and greet, and they're like, how long does it take you to make your videos? And I'm like, if I have ideas or if I don't have ideas. And like, no, if you have ideas. I'm like, 10 minutes. If I have 10 videos, it'll take me 10 minutes. And they're like, what?
Yeah.
And just finding that in another guy who's got like very similar ideas, just like, it's crazy.
And I mean, people go about making content in very specific ways, right? There's never, ever going to be one way to do it. That's something we really do want to clarify. But, I've seen it multiple times, and we've spoke about this multiple times. If we have an idea and it realistically can't get done within the first 1 to 2 takes, it's not getting done.
Yeah.
That's our sign to say that, hey, the words are not flowing out of our mouth. This is either not something that's being made today or not being made at all. And, I think that's the biggest thing is we're not attached to shit that doesn't work. No. We're always trying to find what works.
That's the biggest thing too. And also, we've just gotten really good at it through reps. This is like, like basic social media advice here. But I mean, if anyone's watching this that is like trying to post on social media in the first place and like, I don't know where to start, just post as much as you can. Me and Nuno, no one was posting the amount that we were when we first started. Like, I know when I was first like on my like quote unquote come up, I was posting like 15, 20 times a day. Like I was going nuts. And my videos sucked. They weren't nearly as good as they were now. And I wasn't nearly as good of a speaker as I am now. And it's the same thing for you. If you go back to your first videos, they suck. Like it's just, they're not good. We didn't know how to actually speak to the camera. And when you actually can just get in as many reps as we have, and you just do that for months, and then that compounds to years, you get so good at speaking, even just in general. Yeah. Like you get way better at speaking in general and being able to convey your thoughts in like an articulate manner. But when you we can both do that because we both put in so many reps, it's just like, it's
kind of funny you say that. Like, I think I've always viewed myself as like a confident individual, especially when it comes to talking from the time I've been young. But I actually had a dude send me a video a couple months back, and it was the first ever talking video I made. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I was in Portugal with my dad, and I was trying to do this little social media thing. My parents have always supported me. I'm very grateful for that. But I was sitting in the car, and I had my phone up, and I was recording whatever video it was, waiting to see if my dad came out the store to hit cut, because I didn't want to see my dad posting or me posting my 50 followers, and my dad's like, all right, bro, what's this guy doing? But dude, I remember somebody sent me a video a couple months back, and he's like, it's crazy to see how much you've like gotten better at speaking. And at first I was like, dude, screw you, I've always been good at speaking. What are you talking about? And I went and watched the video, and I was, if you guys want to do this, and speed loves success, if that's one thing I've realized. Absolutely. And like we speak about our passion for business. We've been watching a lot of Greg's content. Yeah, and Greg. There is nothing and no amount of plan that will beat a 50% execution, because execution triumphs all. Yeah. You can have the greatest idea in the world. If you're not willing to work at the speed in which the idea needs to go at, your idea means nothing. And to piggyback off that, Fitfo, right? You guys have kind of seen the rise of our app, and we mentioned it yesterday on a live video, transitioning more into community-based coaching. We started off with obviously copying the workouts. We thought it was an unreal idea, and I brought it up to Jacob a couple weeks back. He still had his little prep brain, so it moved a little slower at first. But I said to him, I was like, I think we have a chance here with our brands to not only grow our community, but to get every other fitness creator out there who has ever wanted to start a coaching business and wanted to make money, the fast track into doing so. Yeah. Right. And for those of you guys who aren't familiar with Fitfo, we're not going to spend the entire podcast talking about it, but it's community-based coaching where you guys have access to, in this case in specific, us on a week-to-week basis with the call that we're going over theory, questions, help, but also towards other coaches, right? Because community means everything and is everything. Yeah. We share the same idea that every dude who follows us is not a fan. You guys have never once been our fans. You guys are our brothers. Yeah. You guys are our supporters, and we hope you guys know that we would support you back equally if you were in the same position that we were in. There would never be a level of not showing the same love. And, I spoke to Lucas Pachter a minute ago with the idea of watching his videos when I first went to college. And
same.
Just him speaking about the fact that if you can help make other people money, not only will you make money, but you'll feel tenfold better about yourself.
No, it's true. I mean, it's like the best feeling in the world being able to help just people out in general. I mean, I know for me, Like I literally reached out to you because I had no idea what to do with coaching.
Yeah.
Like if FitFo was a thing when I first started, I would be fast tracked tenfold.
I don't want to say that we haven't put in the work, but we would have made so much more money, bro. God.
It would have been so much easier. I mean, it's like we could have been able to get all of our clients on and make it a much better service. Yeah. We could have been so much better coaches because everything was already taken care of for us, and all we needed to do is just get on the call and give information. Yeah. And when you don't have to worry about any of the back end stuff, it makes it so much easier. And yeah, I mean, it's honestly insane, but like Lucas Pachter, bro, like I literally used to watch it or listen to him and Higher Up Wellness's podcast every single time.
A goat,
yeah,
bro.
Michael's the fucking man. Shout out Michael. Every single time on my drive to school, 12-hour drive to Indiana, and I was like, dude, like I need to figure something out. I don't know what I'm gonna figure out, but like I'm gonna figure something out to like make a personal brand and like really go all in on this. And like those two guys were like a big inspiration for me, for sure, bro.
And I mean, he kind of just said it there, like, figure it out, right?
Yeah.
We're both fraternity guys. For those of you who don't know, we both went to frats when we went to college, and the thing that you're always told as a freshman, whenever you're asked to do anything, is FitFo. It's figure it the fuck out. And when we were creating this app, we were bouncing a bunch of ideas from names to this to that, and the guys who work on our back end were also very similar fraternity men, and I saw it one day on the log, and I was like, FitFo. How many times did I get told that? How many times was I pissed off that a dude would look at me and you know what he would say? Figure it out.
Yeah.
And you have no direction that you know you're going to go in, but I promise you the only direction is taking a step forward.
Yeah.
Right? And like
absolutely.
That's the thing that we've been able to always do and always understand is that if you stay on this couch today, you're not going to get any closer to walking out this door.
Yeah.
And if your goal is to walk out the door and you keep talking about how you want to walk out the door, but you're not taking initiative to doing that, you're going to sit on this couch for the rest of your life.
It's true. And that's the biggest thing, especially in like our generation. There are a lot of guys that I talk to, I mean, even on social media, and they come to me with all these great business ideas, great this, great that. No action gets taken.
No execution.
And it is the most frustrating thing in the world because how are you going to come and sit here and say that you're the most ambitious guy in the world? You want to do this, you want to do that, you want to do this? No, nothing changes. And you cannot expect change if you do not change yourself and you take no action on what you actually want to do. It's one of the most frustrating things in the world, and that's why, Nuno's been such like a blessing in my life is because it's just immediate action. Like we don't sit here and talk and talk and talk and talk. Yeah. And if you're a guy who's like, I don't feel comfortable with where I'm at, then the only place to go is to take action immediately. I get comments all the time that are like, yo, like, I don't feel good in my body. I don't feel good. Like, what's the first step to do about getting motivated? I literally tell them, like, look in the mirror until you feel uncomfortable. Because when you feel uncomfortable, that's when you're actually going to make a change. I actually think this is a Higher Up Wellness quote I'm about to steal. Shout out Michael. The pain of changing has to be stronger than the pain of change, or the pain of staying the same has to be stronger than
the fear of changing.
The fear of changing.
Yeah. No,
because
100%.
That's when you're actually going to make the change. If you sit here and you think that, you're obviously pretty comfortable if you're not willing to take that next step. And it's all about action, action, action.
No, I mean, couldn't put it any better, bro. Growing up, like I mentioned at the start, I've always been an outgoing person. I cannot once ever tell you that lifting gave me the confidence to open my mouth and speak to somebody. But I'll say this, and I have no problem admitting it. For the first 17 to 18 years of my life, my mindset was that of a victim. I grew extremely, extremely late in high school. My dad's always been an in-shape, jacked dude, and I was always waiting to get bigger. I say this as a joke, but I'd go to bed every night like, yo, bro, when am I gonna grow, dude? Like, when am I gonna get bigger? And I took a hard look in the mirror one night, senior year of high school, bro. Came home from a party, I had a little too many drinks, I'll be honest. Should not have been drinking. Don't ever drink underage. You're stupid if you do that.
Amen.
And I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, there's only one individual that can make this change in your life, and it's you, Because going back to giving advice, I've spoke to thousands and thousands of people, whether it's been out in public, at a gym, and the thing that always annoys me is having a 15 to 20 minute long conversation with the guy who's younger than me about starting to post and starting to do this and starting to do that. And I always mention to them, action, action, action. And the first time around, I'll sit and I'll spend 30 minutes talking to you about what could help you out or what you need to do. And
absolutely.
I've had multiple instances where I've gone to the same gym and I've seen the individual 3 to 4 to 5 months down the line, and it's the same question. And I ask him, the first thing I say is, well, how many videos have you posted? Oh, bro, I'm waiting to start.
No.
I don't want to get corny because this is such an overused statement. The best time to start was not now, it was yesterday.
Yeah.
And if you didn't start yesterday, you start today. And if you're not willing to start today, you're not going to start tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, that's the biggest thing about it is everybody, and I say this because I've experienced this. I'm not talking as somebody who's never gone through something. You will always sit around and wait till you realize that waiting achieves and solves absolutely nothing at all, bro.
Yeah. It's honestly, and that's especially on social media. I know at the Echo meet and greet when I met a lot of the like guys. I mean, I've never had an experience like that. I've never met so many people, and
Yeah, I wish I went to that.
Yeah,
that looks sick,
it was awesome, and just got the opportunity to talk to so many people and help give a lot of advice. People were like, "Dude, you've grown so fast. Like, how have you done it?" And I'm like, they're like, "I'm trying to post on social media." First thing I would tell them, "Let me see your account."
Yeah.
They would show me, and they start scrolling through, and this is gonna sound like I'm tooting my own horn, and I'm like, dude, I posted more times in the last 2 days than you've posted in the last 2 months.
Yeah.
That it should be a reality check for you. Like it's not even about the fact that 10 videos a day is the best way to grow on social media. There are plenty of guys who post 1-2 times a day can blow up.
Yeah.
But the reps that I've gotten in, I just do the 10 videos a day. I just say that I do it, to be honest, at this point, because it's like a mental thing for me. But it's like, I have gotten in so many reps. I've done action. And if you are looking for advice, let's take even, Olympic swimmers. Every single Olympic swimmer, how many hours did they put in the pool? How many laps did they have to go around? The most that's why I'm bringing it up, because it's one of the most monotonous things in the world. It's like you literally have there's no strategy, there's no anything. You just lap. That's how you get good at swimming.
Over and over.
It's the same kind of thing with social media. None of those guys were reading in a book being like, what's the most perfect textbook swimming form? I need to make sure that I'm going to, if you're a swimmer and you go up to Michael Phelps and you're like, yo, how do I get good at swimming? He'd probably tell you, I have done literally 1 billion laps in my life. Dude, and you've done nothing.
It's insane you say that. I was literally about to bring this up. Like, I watched a Michael Phelps video a while back, right? And there's obviously always going to be a few athletes that you looked up to for their level of hard work. And, I remember it was a time in which I kind of wanted to go pro in soccer. I was never good enough to go pro. But it was a video of him basically saying that there was not a day that he missed from whatever birthday to whatever birthday of him going to the Olympics, And I was sitting there and I was thinking like, oh, bro, you didn't go on Christmas. And literally the next thing he says, Christmas morning, I was there.
Yeah.
Right? And I mean, to connect this back, the FIFA World Cup's happening right now. Portugal's going to win the World Cup. We all know that. Ronaldo is the hardest working individual I've ever seen, ever. And obviously I have a bias towards loving him and towards liking the guy. But there is something about an individual that is willing to put in work, not knowing if he's going to succeed.
Brady.
Genuinely, bro.
Look at Tom Brady.
It's a goat right there.
You
guys have seen his 40-yard dash.
Horrible.
You think
he was
anybody...
like an 8th round pick. Like, genuinely, there was no future for this guy.
No,
and he just grinded so hard. I can confidently say, I don't really know a particular lot about his training or what he did. He probably worked harder than every single other person, and that's why he is where he is.
I've seen this video before. He walked up to Robert Kraft, which you guys don't know, that's the owner of the New England Patriots, and he said, Mr. Kraft, I know you don't know me. I'm your 6th round draft pick. I'm going to beat every single guy in this organization. And look, that's not what he said word for word, quote for quote, but the fact that you have the confidence to walk up to the individual that employs you and tell him that you are better than the dude he signed a year ago, 2 years ago, that took him to a Super Bowl, that won him a Super Bowl. It takes balls.
Yeah.
It's the bottom line, dude. And, we keep kind of going back to this, but you guys, you got to learn to figure it the fuck out. Because there is no individual in this world that is ever going to want you to sit at their table if you have nothing to bring to the table.
It's true.
And look, bro, with you and I think that's been the coolest thing about our friendship is there's never ever been once where if I've had more followers than you or you've had more followers than me that I've questioned the fact that you've been leeching off of me.
Never.
Yeah,
never.
Not once.
Even a thought.
And I think it makes it so much easier from a business perspective, from a friendship perspective, and just from a creating content perspective to know that there's never ever going to be a time, whether we look similar or not, or we make similar videos where I know this dude's gone through my account and tried to copy and take all my information, And look, bro, it's fitness. You're going to end up talking about the same shit. That's just how the name of the game goes. This dude has damn near talked about everything you can with fitness, bro. There's not much more you can cover without stop trying to be Jacob Oestreicher comments. But, it really just kind of goes to show that if you want something, you go out there and you take it. I'm an immigrant. I was born in South Africa. I moved here in 2015. And my parents sacrificed the best life ever in South Africa to come here. Not knowing what our future could have entailed with the idea that I was going to go to school and get an education. And dude, I mean, fuck, that didn't really end up happening, but we figured it out. But
you have the opportunity now to meet a bunch of other people. Like if they didn't do that, we never would have met, who knows where everything would have been.
And I've actually spoke about this before to my parents. To any individual that is watching this from the United States of America in specific, you do not even understand the geographical benefit and the one-up that you have on everybody else in this world, because I have friends from South Africa that are in 10 times better shape than me, that can more than likely probably convey their ideas in a 10 times better manner. But because they're not in the geographical location to have them succeed, it is very, very difficult. And I'm not saying you can't do it. If you want to work hard enough, you will get everything done in your life. Absolutely. I promise to God, I put that on everything. But the bottom line is this. You have strengths, you use your strengths. We talk about stupid little engagement tactics. Dude, I have abs. I've had abs from the time that I was 8. This guy has massive triceps and massive arms. What do you think he's going to talk about? And what do you think he's going to play into? And what do you think I'm going to talk about? What do you think I'm going to play into? There's something that is kind of frowned upon in this world that if you have a one-up on somebody, you don't mention or you don't use it. Bullshit.
Agreed.
If you have a one-up on somebody, if you're an in-shape dude, if you're an extremely smart individual, you use that to your ability, because I can promise you this, if you aren't willing to do it, somebody who is 50% of the man that you are is, and because of his speed and his execution, he will beat you every day of the week. And bro, you said it with the posting there. I'm not telling every single person who's watching this that you have to post 10 times a day. But you know what I am telling you? That if you're not willing to do it, he is.
Yeah.
And the engagement that you won't gain on your account that you could have got, the lottery ticket that you could have potentially won, he's going to take it from you.
Yeah.
And that's how the world works, bro.
It is. No, I mean, that's what it comes down to, is like, if you're not willing to seize the opportunity, someone else is going to seize it way before you. It's one of the most crazy things as well, because it's one of the things that gives me a sense of urgency, and that's one of the biggest things. Like I could talk forever about having a sense of urgency, because no one does. Even right now, I'm in a pretty good spot. Okay, I've got decent social following, coaching business is going well.
Dude, he bought a supercar at 20. It's insane.
I could sit here and be like, all right, I'm dialing back the post, doing this. I don't need to be, starting FIFO, anything else. But it's the sense of urgency of being like, there's more out there. If I slow down right now, I know that I know there's some guy probably even watching this video who's like, I see that guy, I want to come for him. Yeah. And I do the same thing with any guy in the industry. Joel, I'm coming for you. I'll say this every single time. Anyone like this, like literally, I'm always like hungry to just get after it. Urgency. And if you do not have any sort of sense of urgency and will to, I need to do this, or like, I don't feel like a human, you're not going to get to where you need to be. And one of the best ways to even get that is to just sit down and assess what you want out of your life. If you can perfectly picture exactly what you want out of your life, like
write your goals down.
I write all my goals down. I got a big whiteboard in my office with all my goals, every single one of them. I've been doing that from the jump. I had it in my college one with a tinier whiteboard because I couldn't afford to get a bigger whiteboard. It was literally like this big. I'd write down all my goals, checked all of them off. And I've already checked off like 4 of my goals from me moving into Houston. And having that like sense of dopamine when you check it off, it's just like, but then I do it and I'm like, what's the next one? And a lot of people are like, oh, dude, you shouldn't just be chasing the next thing. That's what you want. That's not what you want. Yeah, I have never felt more fulfilled in my entire life by going and achieving greater and greater and greater things. There are going to be things that make me more and more and more happy as I continue to do it. And they're like, oh, this doesn't, money doesn't buy happiness. This is bullshit, in my opinion. I have never felt more fulfilled. I have never felt more happy because of the work that I was able to put in, because I had that sense of urgency. And that's it's 100%. It's like, now I get to do all these fun things. Like I'm starting to get I'm still posting the fitness stuff, of course, but I'm starting to do more things like building companies.
Dude, we went to the World Cup, bro.
Went to the World Cup, and even during the World Cup, I'm getting things like, because we're literally, I'm in the building stages of like companies right now, and it's nuts. It's insane. And like now that fire that I had for, I need this video to do really well. I still get fired up about that, of course, but it's like, all right, now the social media stuff, like I get, but there's a whole world of business and things that I need to learn in order to become the man that I want to become and provide the life that I want to provide for, my future family. And just getting more and more like fired up, and all these opportunities has just made me feel more and more fulfilled and more excited for what's to come in the future.
You said, you spoke about the idea of a whiteboard. He's not saying this from an analogy perspective, but I mean, I can. He mentioned that, when he was in college making X amount of money, he had a whiteboard that was a certain size, and his goals were a certain size. And as he's obviously progressed and gotten bigger and bigger, the whiteboard gets bigger and bigger. And it has nothing to do with the whiteboard. It has to do with your goals. You'll achieve upon a goal, and if you're an individual who wants more, you're going to set a bigger goal.
Yeah.
And I think the thing about goals is people always talk about setting small goals that'll get you to where you want to be. I agree with that. But there needs to be a goal on your whiteboard that you wake up every day and you're scared you might not achieve it.
Absolutely.
Because if your goals are too small, your mindset is too small. And if that is too small, you're not going to get bigger. And it sounds stupid, bro. We talk about everything in relation to lifting, but everything is in relation to lifting.
Agreed.
The work that him and I have had to put in inside and outside of the gym to maintain a physique, to maintain a business, comes from the idea that there was once a point in time where we weren't willing to do it.
Yeah.
And to anybody watching this, we talk about figuring it out. We talk about FitFo. You don't have to have everything figured out right now. You know that. No. But you need to have a mindset of, if I don't have it figured out, I'm going to figure it out.
Yes, that's one of the biggest things. And, I talk about this with my dad, like, all the time. Even when I was in school, I wasn't really, like, I wasn't doing that well in, like, high school and, like, my early on. Yeah. And he was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm going to figure it out. I would always tell my dad, even now, I'm like, I'll figure it out. Like, just when you have that like sense of confidence in yourself and you really just know that you are going to figure it out eventually, it's one of the most important mindsets you can have. And honestly, the confidence is built as well to say, I'm going to figure it out by doing more and more things that you said you were going to do on a day-to-day basis. I said I was going to post 10 times a day. Confidence
You did
boost.
it.
I did it. Confidence boost. Said that, we were going to get FitFo at confidence boost. 2-on-1 coaching with me and you, confidence boost. Like
exactly.
The more and more things that we continue to do, you just keep gaining more confidence and you start to understand, I'm going to figure it out no matter what.
No, literally. And look, guys, the coolest thing about technology is that it becomes easier and easier to do things, yet our work rate goes down and down and down. If we had FitFo at the start, and to any other creator out there, you guys can take a look into it. It's going to help you build your own coaching community. When you are given more resources, your job becomes easier. But the reason it becomes easier is because you can put forward with the things you're good at and let people handle the things that they're good at, And we spoke about that yesterday in the car, dude. But one of the biggest lessons I had to learn was let the people who are good at doing what they're good at doing, do it. Stop trying to do everything.
100%.
And what you can handle, what you can control, you get done. And, we've been very, very blessed and lucky to have parents in our life that not only love us, but support us. But he can say this, and he could say it without saying it. There was times where I told my dad when I didn't do too great in a class that I got this, and I know he didn't believe in me.
Yeah.
I know deep down there wasn't 100% belief in me.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that every single day, that 100% belief that he didn't have, I know I was going to get 0.1% closer to him believing in me.
Yeah.
And look, bro, that's the biggest thing for me is if you say you want something, go out there and fucking show it.
That's it.
Because if you don't, no one else is going to do it for you, bro.
No.
Nobody else at all, dude. And look, to anybody who wants to start making content, who wants to start lifting, this is not always about content. This is just the industry that we work in. Start.
Yeah. Just
start. Because what you think you need to have figured out on day one, you don't. But if you don't have a day one, you're never going to get to day 100.
No.
And if you talked about your 10 videos a day, that builds and that boosts confidence. When I haven't been that dialed in with the gym or dialed in with posting, I feel shittier about myself.
Yeah.
And I should. And it's the best thing of all time because you and I can take it with a grain of salt and say, if I don't like the way I feel today, it's because I haven't put in the work that I needed to put in.
I mean, and we got to wrap it up soon here, but like to close it off, it's, feeling like shitty about yourself and doing all these things is good. I really do wholeheartedly believe that if you can reframe your mindset around it and not be, I feel bad about myself, poor me, poor this. No. Like you deserve to be in the spot you're in if you feel bad. because it's usually due to the work that you haven't been putting in. It's the same thing with like any kind of content. Even when I don't have ideas, I'm like, bro, like I'm just not on it as much. And it also helps when you have, friends and boys in your life that will also, like, I know if either of us started to slow down, decent bit would be like, yo, what are you doing?
He
like,
texted me, bro. He has. And, he actually shot me a text, and we're wrapping things up here, but he shot me a text when I was kind of transitioning a little more to the lifestyle. And he kind of said, like, yo, bro, like, what's good with you? And, I walked him through my process, and he understood. But, it's men's mental health awareness. We'll bring it up. To have a brother, this dude's my brother, bro. Brother from another mother, despite us looking the same. To know that if I ever do slow things down and he checks me, he's not checking me because he's trying to bring me down. He's checking me because he knows where I can go.
Yeah.
And if I'm not willing to put in that work right now, he's willing to let me know that I need to put in the work.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best part, bro.
100%.
When you find a person who has the same mindset as you, you take it and you run with it. Because if you don't, I'm going to let him down. And there's been days, bro, where I haven't put in the work, and this sounds stupid and it's dumb to say, but this is the guy that I came up with. I think about what the fuck would Jacob think of me?
Yeah.
And I know he'd be pretty damn near pissed off. Because there's been times you've seen me, bro, like, what are you doing, dog? Why haven't you posted X amount? And I'm like, you're right, bro. And compound interest is the name of the game with business, with stocks, and with posts. And, if I can say one last thing, you add your finishing touches here. Your views mean nothing. If I got one view on my videos for the rest of the time that I posted, but I inspired one individual,
absolutely,
I'm happy.
Yeah.
I very much so am, because that's one more individual that wasn't inspired the day prior.
Yeah, 100%. That's what it's about, man. I mean, we're in such a blessed position to be able to help as many people as we are. And, the more that you continue to just grow an audience and help more and more people out, like the more fulfilling it gets. It's genuinely.
And look, guys, there's a lot of engagement that comes in on our accounts, but if you guys ever need help and you need somebody to talk to, we may not always see it because that's just how social media works, but we're there for you. We genuinely are. We always will be. And whether that's you drawing inspiration from our posts or through a message that you send us, just know that if I ever could help you out and he's the same, we share very similar thoughts, we can and we will. Yeah. And, that's the thing, right? We talk about business, but this has always been driven from a place of knowing what we didn't have in our life that we needed from somebody. A lot of our content, I think, is the older brother that we didn't have.
I hated looking like in my YMCA when I had no idea. I'd like look up gym tips and I'd literally have jack.
No clue.
Like I would be like, what am I even looking at? Like I don't know what's going on here. And especially like that's what I needed like so bad was just someone to like just go through every single topic and just explain it and like I was an idiot.
No, yeah, genuinely, bro. I mean, that's a great way to go about things. And like, if there's one last thing I'll say to y'all is, and we've said this over and over and over, so I keep saying it. When you find somebody that's willing to put in the same work as you, don't let him down. It's not about letting yourself down. Find an individual in your life that you aren't willing to let down when you don't have motivation. Motivation is not real. It never has, and it never, ever will be. Because it's not about what you do at your all-time highs. It's exactly how you respond when you're at your all-time lows and how you get right the fuck back up to the high. That's the bottom line of that, bro.
It's all about how you respond. Bounce back.
All right, brother. Well, it's been great talking to you.
Yes, sir.
Let's get a little handshake for the camera.
Sir.
But, yeah, I think we're done.
We're good.